And here we go. Have you all heard of this story? Maybe you haven't, actually, because this one didn't go as viral as many of the others, and if you're smart, you all know why. Reason number one, of course, being it's actually important. Two, it involves victimizing white people. And I mean, some more. I'll give you one more reason in a bit. I want to set the foundation before I really talk about the main reason why this was ignored. What is woke SJW's favorite thing in the world, other than their feelings and opinions? Immigrants. There is nothing they love more than immigrants. And it's not just woke SJWs, it's culture as a whole. How many videos have I made talking about exactly this? You all know it. What do you want me to do? Throw all the videos on the screen where I've talked about this in the past? I'm not in the fucking mood, and you're not going to watch them anyway. But I have been saying for a very long time that diversity is a weakness, not a strength. And we all know, even though you're all afraid to admit it, we all know that most, not of just that, I can't say the word, but that, not just that crime being the most common thing that they commit, but crimes as a whole are primarily done by the diversity we have here in the West. I am not afraid to admit the truth. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. As much as people either know it, but don't want to admit to it, or don't know it because they're in denial or brainwashed by the media, the truth is right there in front of your face. The media and society as a whole will continue to blame white people for every single fucking thing that happens. Even if the person's skin color is very clearly not white, and even though they were very clearly not born in the West, it's still white people, white people, white people. Just lie, 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 lie. Highlight the few white people who do commit crimes to extrapolate it, and then completely deny or hide when someone who's non-white commits a crime. But you're not allowed to say it. I'm not allowed to point it out. Because we have to make sure that we're nice to them, right? We have to be nice to all of the immigrants. Because they want to come here to the West for a better life. They just want to come here for a better life. But if they commit a crime, a murder, theft, or a grape, ignore it. Don't talk about it. Because you can't make them look bad, right? If you make them look bad, if you tell the truth, that's racist. If you point it out, you're a racist. Oh, you're a racist, Matt, because you told a fact that goes against the narrative. Matt, you're the white guy. You are the problem, remember? You can't point out the real problem, because if you point out the real problem, then the spotlight isn't excessively, obsessively on you. You can't do that. You can't tell the truth. So we have to make sure that Matt's videos only get 90 views and no more than that, because what he's saying is too fucking true. It's too fucking accurate. My life on YouTube for the past 20 years. You people can deny it. You can stick your head in the fucking sand while pretending that you care. But as soon as it's about someone who's non-white, ignore it. Out of fear of hurting the minorities, even though they're actually the majority, or fear that someone will call you a racist, God forbid, because the actual crime that's being committed is not anywhere nearly as bad as being called a racist. There's nothing worse than being called a racist. I mean, you can be a grape juicer, you can be a murderer, you can be a child molester, that's okay. But just don't go against those people, because then you are a racist or a sexist. You can know about it, but you can't fucking point it out, right? Rupert Lowe, a politician in the UK, released this report that you are seeing on the screen right now, the Rape Gang Inquiry. What is it? Well, let's find out. Now, this report is 219 pages. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, obviously, but let's take a look at a few highlights, shall we? Like this one. The scale of the grape juice people phenomenon is an endemic across the entirety of Britain. The 250,000 figure originates directly from a statement in the House of Lords by Lord Pearson of Rannoch on the 14th of May, 2019. Do the government accept that if we extrapolate nationally the J report on Rotherham and other reports from Telford and Oxford, there appears to have been upwards of 250,000 young white girls. Oh, now we know why no one's talking about this. Shocking. Grape juiced in this century, very largely by... Oh, what's that word? It's that word I'm not allowed to say because I can't look racist. No. A fate worse than death. Looking racist. No. Let's just ignore the truth. And literally the entire problem across the Western world, right? I mean, countries like the US, Canada, the UK, we all know, although I know you don't want to say it, but we all know that crime was pretty minimal in our Western world up until mass immigration happened. Mass immigration really hit Canada around 2010, and before 2010, crime was average. Now it's skyrocketed. This does apply to the US, to the UK, to Australia, Belgium, many other fucking primarily, well, what used to be primarily white countries, and now they have, again, and just so you know, I've said it before, this is intentional. To turn first world countries into third world countries was no accident. It was planned that way, and it is completely intended that way. I've already proved it. Watch my other videos if you actually give a fuck to figure out why and research some goddamn facts. Let's continue with this lovely document. The scale of the crimes committed is staggering. I mean, it's not surprising when you realize it's literally caused by diversity, but sure. It has been previously established that at the very least 250,000 young white girls have been subjected to repeated grape juice, gang, trafficking, torture, pregnancy, forced Islamic conversion, and lifelong trauma. And apparently, this started, I'm not sure about the full years of this document, but it's been estimated from 1997 to 2013. And there are factors about, like, repeated offenses on the same girl and whatever. I don't fucking care about any of that. I don't fucking care. What matters is that it's happening and that no one fucking cares that it is. I mean, by all means, we found that the same unspeakable crimes occurred in at least 149 local authority districts. Close to 40% of all such districts across the UK, see page 14 for the full map, survivors described daily grape juice, red rooms of extreme torture, trafficking between cities, and institutional disbelief that compound their suffering. Some girls were even trafficked to the Middle East where they would endure Islamic marriage. Oh yes, because there's nothing more lovely. There's nothing more that woke people love than the Middle East, you know. By the way, have you seen those videos? I love those videos of woke people who genuinely believe, because this is like what society's been pushing for 20 years, that white people are evil and that it's Islam and those countries that are like really respectful to women. So there's been some fucking morons who have actually gone there, and when they did, they were attacked, they were grape juiced, they were murdered and stoned and beaten. It's like natural selection, I guess. What happens when you're an SJW who's dumb as fucking shit. But the thing is, to an extent, even though, yes, it is natural selection, you have to feel bad for them because they were brainwashed into this mentality that the biggest issue on Earth is white people and everyone else is A-okay. And because of it, we have so many instances of crimes like people going to the Middle East or allowing those people to come here and commit their crimes. Or, for example, how many instances do you see like Irina Zarutska, who's attacked by some black guy who had 14 fucking priors? And again, that is another example of this diversity fucking privilege, because if DeCarlos Brown, that fucking freak, was a white guy, he would have been in jail a long time ago. But in case you're not keeping up, the reason why DeCarlos Brown had 14 priors but was still out in public and was able to attack Irina as a result of that is because he wasn't white. All of this diversity privilege is the fucking problem, and it always has been. DeCarlos Brown is only one example, but catch and release on non-whites is very fucking common. And do you know why we have that? Because we don't want to look racist. No, you can't put these animals in jail, because if you do, people will say that you're only putting them in jail because of their skin color and not because of their crimes they committed. God for fucking bid. No. So instead, you know, give them some community service or like a day in jail and let them go. Put them in and then let them go. Put them in and then let them go. DeCarlos Brown is one example of thousands. 14 priors. But let him go. because he's not white. I love it. Diversity has been just fucking beautiful, hasn't it? And I mean, let's take a look. Like, oh, Matt, maybe not all of them were animals. Oh, really? Well, let's take a look at this page of the document. The true number is probably higher. The perpetrators bear primary responsibility, yet the institutional failures that enabled them for decades must also be confronted. In court records and official inquiries, around 87% of those convicted in these group-based child sexual exploitations case bore distinctively Muslim names. Wow, what a fucking shock. I can't believe it. I thought white people were the evil ones. The media told me white people were evil. The school system, my university professor told me white people were the problem. Black Lives Matter told me white people were the problem. When we allowed in diversity, we were just trying to help the non-whites. I thought it was the white people who didn't want them here, and therefore they are the racist problem. No. Do you think maybe white people were right all along? The reason why we didn't want diversity in first world countries is because we didn't want to become the third world, and we knew that we would become the third world if we did it, and now look where we are. This is one example of things we've been saying for the last 2 decades, and I am fucking tired of it. And it's not just me. We are all so fucking sick of being the nice guys while being told we're the bad guys, predicting that this shit would happen. When it does, and we pointed out, we're called fucking racist. The people who are actually committing the crimes are being let go because of diversity privilege, and I am still called evil and racist because my skin is white. Forget what I'm fucking saying. It doesn't matter. Facts don't matter. Truth doesn't matter. What matters is that we be nice to the fucking minorities who are actually majorities, and then let them fucking terrorize the first world, turn us into the third world, while blaming the white people for it, despite the fact that we are 8% of the entire world's population. We are being genocided, but we're still the problem. It's fucking amazing, right? Yeah, this has totally not been pre-planned all these years, right? No, it's all just a fucking gigantic coincidence. And to all you woke SJW fucking scum, the fact that you don't want to talk about this just because the victims are white and the fucking perpetrators aren't white just shows what everybody already knew, and even, I think even dumb people are finally starting to fucking catch on to the real truth. The truth being that woke people have been brainwashed to love majorities, and they have been convinced that they are the oppressed ones. For real, they've been fully convinced that these majorities are the actual oppressed ones, and therefore saw them as victims, treated them with more respect than white people, so when this fucking shit happens, their brains default to, oh, I can't talk about it because then I'd be talking against the poor minorities. I can't say anything against them, even though they victimized 250,000 white girls and teenagers. I love when people actually try to tell me that me talking about woke SJW people is just a small little issue because all they really want is equality, Matt. They're not bad people, they just want equality. Why don't you talk about more important things? No. The reason why I talk about woke SJW people so much on my channel is because, as I've said and proven for almost 2 decades now, they are the problem, and they have been the biggest problem in the Western world ever since woke SJW culture began, and this is one of many examples of exactly that. You are the fucking problem, and you are the cause of this shit. And if you don't want to talk about it because you don't want to seem racist, you're a fucking piece of shit. Bye.